If you think Connecticut real estate is finally slowing down, you might be surprised by what's happening behind the scenes. What we are seeing now with home prices, inventory, and buyer demand is setting us up for a spring market that can move faster and tighter than we expect. I am Jennifer Lockwood, a full-time realtor here in Fairfield County. I work with buyers and sellers every single week navigating these market shifts. I make videos on what it's like to move, live, and work in Fairfield County. I will leave my contact information below if you're thinking of moving here or selling here, or you just want to talk about real estate. So in this video today, we're going to talk about how we got here, what happened in 2025, because historical trends help us anticipate what could happen in 2026. We will talk about the latest 2026 forecasts that many economists are putting out there, and then I'll give you my prediction of what I think we will see in 2026 in Fairfield County real estate. Let's start with how we got here. One thing I can tell you is real estate is local. It is different in every part of the country. Here in Fairfield County and in the state of Connecticut, we still are struggling for inventory. Real estate is about supply and demand, and without inventory, your home prices will increase. And that's what we still saw throughout Fairfield County throughout 2025. Home prices still were increasing because of the lack and scarcity of supply or inventory. The median sale price in Fairfield County is $662,500, and that is an 8.6 increase year over year compared to 2024. Now, it's really shocking when you look at 2019, we are a 75% increase in median home sale price. So basically, a home in 2019 that cost $450,000 now costs $790,000. So despite that interest rates were still elevated throughout the year, inflation was going down, but at a much slower rate than people had anticipated, home prices still continued to rise, and that is because of lack of supply. We still saw people with multiple offers really fighting for a house just to get home ownership. Throughout the county, days on market was 31 days, and that was down 6% compared to a year ago. So that shows us the market is still selling quickly, especially for homes that are priced appropriately and ready for the market. And I can't say that enough. Really, it is about pricing and being ready for the market, because if you are priced too high, which many sellers had been doing because they saw what their neighbors were getting and they would go a little bit higher, those houses could tend to sit because you're reaching for a number. You could get to that number if you price it appropriately. There are many luxury markets throughout Fairfield County, and those prices had increased as well. Darien, the median sale price was $2.4 million, and that was up 18.5%. In New Canaan, it was $2.5 million, and that also was up 18.5% compared to just a year ago. Greenwich, $2.5 million, up 13.5%. Westport, $2.3 million, and that is up 9.6%. In Wilton, $1.3 million, and that's up 11.4%. And then in Fairfield, $975,000, up 12.4%. Most of these are double-digit increases from just a year ago. Let's talk inventory. That is the supply. Throughout Fairfield County, we saw single-family homes stay almost exactly the same as it was in 2024. So when you compare today to a year ago in 2024, 3 houses difference. That's it, which means when homes came on the market, they were absorbed by the market. And a really large comparison is comparing it to pre-pandemic. In 2019, there was 3,600 more homes on the market than there are today. And that is a 65% difference in supply. So with low supply and high demand, the market here hasn't reset. It's resilient and sustainable. And then we have demand. Demand held, and it even grew. Even with high borrowing costs being in the 6% interest range throughout the year, and it did fluctuate throughout the year, we still saw home sales increase by 4.5% throughout the county. So the idea that higher interest rates will kill the demand has not held here in Fairfield County. We still have people wanting to buy because their theory is these rates will eventually go down and they will just refinance. So they want to get in the home. So if you're a homeowner in Fairfield County, you have seen the equity in your home rise. And if you are a potential buyer sitting on the sidelines waiting for the market to drop or prices to go down, it's just not happening. And what is happening as you're sitting on the sidelines is you're watching home prices continue to rise. This demand is continuing because we have many people that are renting, wanting to buy. We have a huge number of millennials who are now the first-time buyer pool. We have many work from home and hybrid options. So Connecticut has become an option for many people that have lived either outside of the city or in other locations, now find the suburban life appealing. So that has increased demand. So now that we have a little background of where we are in the real estate market as far as stats and data, let's talk about who is moving here in Fairfield County in relation to the demand. First, we have first-time home buyers. According to the latest in our research, first-time home buyers are now 40 years old. They are the oldest they have been in the history of purchasing in real estate. And first-time home buyers only make up 21% of the market, and they used to be 40% of the market. Affordability is the biggest challenge. You have to have a strategic plan when you're a first-time home buyer to really understand how to win in this market. On the other end of the market is luxury buyers, which we are still seeing great strength. High-end buyers are still active and they're looking for locations in the coastal area, commuter towns, and established neighborhoods. What we are seeing with luxury buyers is intentional behavior. They are selective, ready to go, clean offers, value conscious, and when the right house appears, they are decisive. Well-located, well-designed, and properly priced homes are still commanding strong interest and strong offers. What makes Fairfield County different than the rest of the country is our scarcity for land. We don't have a lot of new construction because there's really nowhere to build it. So our new construction are homes that are purchased by builders that are knocked down and rebuilt. We see a lot of this on the coastline because that is a very attractive area for people to buy. So that's where builders see their most return. When you combine these three factors of first-time home buyers, resilient luxury buyers, and a lack and scarcity of land, you can understand why Fairfield County is in the position it's in of increasing home prices and lack of inventory. Now that we understand the Fairfield County real estate market going into 2026, how will all of this shape 2026? Let's talk about demand. Demand is not going away. We have so many forces that increase our demand in this area. One of them is people living in New York City that may be moving to Connecticut. Some of that has to do with cost of living and with commuting and hybrid work. So people have options now to live outside the city and be able to work a couple days a week. And being towns that are on the water and close to New York City are real drivers for many of these buyers. Many first-time home buyers are still waiting on the sidelines. We have a whole group of renters and millennials that have not bought their first home, so they are still in the market. We have downsizers that are also competing in this market who want to make a change. And as we have seen, demand still has been on the rise, even with interest rates being in the 6% range. So the interest rates are not affecting the demand. So what's going to happen with supply and inventory? As I already discussed, land is a scarcity, so we're not going to see more supply with new construction. That will just come on in dribs and drabs. People tend to swoop those up pretty quickly. We do expect supply to remain tight because what we are missing in this market are the people that are living in their home to upgrade to their next home. And if they're sitting in their home in a 3% mortgage rate, it doesn't make sense to go up to a 6% mortgage rate to increase the size of your home because you might want more space or a change. This will make more sense if interest rates change. And right now in the 6% range, it doesn't make financial sense. But if we start to see interest rates come down, we may see more movement and more inventory coming to the market. But as of right now, we are going to expect what we had in 2025, which is just inventory slowly coming on and being absorbed by the market. Next, we have interest rates, and this is a wild card. Right now, top economists are predicting interest rates are going to stay in the low sixes throughout 2026. But I do remember a few years ago when top economists were predicting interest rates and they actually increased more than they had anticipated. Interest rates, I do feel, will drive the supply here in Fairfield County and the demand. So if interest rates go down, you'll see more buyers coming to the market because it will affect their affordability. And if they come down, you might see more sellers coming to the market because they now can sell and buy at the same time, either upgrading or downsizing. So at the end of the day, Connecticut is not heading for a crash, but more of a slow squeeze in the market. I'm Jennifer Lockwood, and my job is not to push you into buying and selling, is to give you an honest, data-driven guidance so you can make the right move at the right time. If you want straightforward, zero pressure conversation about your situation, whether you're buying, selling, or just plain planning ahead, I'll put the link below for you to give me a call. And if you want a follow-up prediction to see how all of this plays out, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.